Hey guys, hope you're enjoying Thrive in Recovery. Uh, hopefully up to this point you've been learning some new things about yourself, and in your daily life you've been starting to become aware of your core values, where you could practice them, how you could practice them. You've discovered some of your uh, strengths, and you have been leaning on them, and you've been observing where else in your life you could utilize your strengths, and hopefully you've been looking at your end goals and maybe adding to the list or not, but knowing what you want in this life and where you want to go and what you want to do and how you want to give back to humanity. So this week we've been going over mindset mastery. The last video we did fixed versus growth mindset. Short video, basically focusing on how everyone is either in a fixed or a growth mindset in different areas of their life, and how to change your fixed mindset to a growth mindset. We did a brief practice for that, but know that it's not just one and done. This is a thing that has to become a part of your life. So the more you do it, the more you switch your fixed mindset and identify where you have a fixed mindset and challenge it, the faster you'll develop a growth mindset in that area of your life. So we're going to go a little bit deeper today about reframing or perspective shifting, and we're going to talk about limited beliefs. So like I said before, in the last video, we went through a process of reframing from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Most of the time we are in fixed and growth mindsets in different areas of our life. Relationships, you may have a fixed mindset. Health, you may have a growth mindset. Eating habits may be a fixed. Your work may be a growth. Limiting beliefs is what we're going to go over. In our fixed mindset, you can find many limiting beliefs. These are beliefs that restrict you based on fear or self-doubt. They are things that we tell ourselves about the world, about our ideas, about ourselves, and about other people that keep us in a tight, restricted area to work in. They're thoughts, convictions, opinions that hold you back and prevent growth, achievement, and risk-taking. They keep you just staying with what you know, living in the familiar, never expanding outside of that. They're also unverified, meaning they're not true. You could challenge them and basically break them apart and realize they're not true. And they're negative assumptions about yourself and the world around you. Everyone's got them. So how do we work on them? We reframe. Reframing is when we change our perspective of a situation and in return change how we feel in that situation. Just because you think a certain thing or a certain thought that you've cultivated over time that is your automatic, just because that pops up doesn't mean it's true. And it may be the way you see the world in that moment, but you could challenge it and reframe it to something that actually serves you better. Maybe give you a more beautiful outlook on life. Maybe give you a more growth mindset on life. So we turn that limited belief or perspective that doesn't serve us into something that does. And the whole point of this is that what I'm kind of going over again in a different way is that you have to become the conscious master of your mind. And the only way to do that is through effort and practice and commitment and being able to slowly rewrite your brain and your mind over time. Because right now, up to this point, it has been written for you by the world around you. It's been written by you unconsciously, choosing to go towards these limiting beliefs or this fixed mindset throughout your life so much that has become your normal. So to take your power back with the mind, you don't really even need to understand the very depths of the mind. I don't even know if science understands the depths of the mind, but one thing that I've proven in my recovery and that other people have proven is that you can rewrite the way your mind thinks. And in return, when you do that, you rewrite the way you see the world. You rewrite your experience of reality, and you start becoming what you call the master of your own destiny. So I can't work out because I don't have the time. So here's a limited belief example. And what this does is it prevents me from ever working out. This is a common one. So when you tell yourself this, what emotion do you get? You get defeated, you get unmotivated, uninspired, and you don't do anything. So for me, it feels uninspiring and like I shouldn't even try. When I reframe it as I can set aside 10 minutes a day to spend on exercise. Because one thing you've got to know is that when you tell yourselves I don't have the time, that's not true. Because you'll see that whatever you prioritize in your life, you'll find the time for. And the problem is you may be prioritizing spending too much time on social media, spending too much time watching TV, spending too much time, doing whatever things that maybe aren't as healthy for you as doing some exercise. But because it's a priority, that's the time. And you put it above exercise. So because I reframe it as I can set aside 10 minutes a day to spend on exercise, I may not see results as soon as I'd like if I'm on a weight loss journey, if I'm on a fitness journey, because just 10 minutes a day isn't much time to do much, but at least I'd be working towards it. At least I'd be getting it implemented into my schedule, and I'm making progress towards my goals of my ideal self who's fit and in shape and active. So reframing gives me hope and willingness to keep pushing forwards. It also makes the challenge a lot smaller in my mind. Instead of being this impossible thing, it becomes possible. So you're rewriting your story. You're telling yourself a better story that serves you. And it won't always feel like accurate. You'll feel like your limited belief is justified and it's true and this is what it is. But what is telling yourself this story doing for you, besides preventing you from moving forwards? So we have to start learning how to retell this story in a way that gets us motivated, in a way that gets us feel empowered and feel the emotions that drive the proper action to our desired outcome. So reframing daily challenges. When we come up against a challenge is when our mind starts to hit us with all kinds of limited beliefs. We've either been given by the world or simply made up on our journey of our life. Being aware of how we are feeling in these times will tell us if we are confronting a limited belief. And we'll get more into being aware of our feelings and being able to manage our emotions. But it all starts with awareness. So being aware of how we're feeling when we're confronting a limited belief will give us the kind of like the sign to like, this is where we got to do the work. So all challenges are opportunities to learn about ourselves, to grow, to challenge our strengths. So we're going to do a quick coaching exercise. I'll do this with you. Identify a current challenge. So hopefully you have your journals. Identify a current challenge you are facing in your recovery or personal life and write it down in your journal in 1 to 2 sentences. And if you're early in your recovery, we've got an unlimited list of challenges, from legal issues to financial issues to relationship issues to personal health issues. So just find one challenge. Mine is getting my driver's license back. So you have your challenge written. Below that, write down any negative thoughts or emotions associated with this challenge, such as this is too hard, I can't do this, I'm feeling frustrated, feeling impatient, feeling defeated, overwhelmed. Write down all the negative thoughts and emotions that pop up. Now consider how these thoughts affect your motivation or willingness to take action. You don't have to write it down, but just consider when becomes your reality, how does it affect your motivation? Does it make the rest of the process just seem like a constant uphill battle? Like every move made in this challenge becomes even more and more difficult. What's it do to your willingness? You probably damn near have no more willingness at this point. So a lot of times this negative mindset can make challenges appear bigger or harder than they really are. And it's very true. With my license thing, like it hasn't really been that difficult. It's me having to show up for a year and a half to monthly online Zoom meetings for a couple hours, and just paying the court back, and kind of struggling without having my license has been difficult, but I've managed, and a lot of people have helped me with rides, and it hasn't been a complete like nightmare, especially after you're in recovery. Like that life we used to live was way worse. That's my experience. So now let's look at this challenge and answer these questions. What can I learn from this situation? For me, I learned the value of my license. I learned the consequences. The consequences of driving under the influence. Which I got lucky. I didn't hurt anybody or even get in an accident. So what can you learn from your situation? What can you learn about the process? Is there consequences in your challenge? Another question to ask is, how can this challenge help me grow stronger? What strengths of yours is it testing right now? Or even weaknesses? Is it testing your patience? Is it testing your open-mindedness? Is it testing your courage, your willingness? So write down how it can help you grow stronger. So an example would be this process of me getting my license back has taught me patience and persistence. Meaning I never missed a class. I haven't felt like I wanted to give up. And what skills or qualities can I develop by facing this? So that's similar to how can it help you grow stronger, but qualities is more resilient, more emotionally stable, perhaps more mentally stable. Put whatever skills or qualities you can think of. character building stuff. And what we're doing is we're looking at the positives of this situation. And that's the first step to reframing. What are the positives? What are the positive things that this is possibly doing for me that I'm not seeing right now? That's the first question. And then we rewrite the challenge statement to focus on the potential growth. So this is the full reframe. It would be, this situation is teaching me patience and resilience instead of overwhelming me. My license is teaching me how to be patient, how not to get so frustrated, how to accept things that are out of my control, how to strengthen my tolerance for situations that take time. It's taught me the value of my license. It's taught me the power of consequences for driving under influence. So rewrite in just one sentence the challenge statement, but focusing only on what you're gaining from it, only what you're learning about yourself, only about the skills and qualities that you are shaping throughout this process. That's it. Just focus on those. So this situation is teaching me blah, blah, blah. Okay? So that was reframing, and we could go one step farther, and we could write down one small action you can take to embrace the opportunity within your challenge. Meaning, if you're trying something new that you're not good at, you could go seek feedback from people. You go ask people. One of your actions would be, ask someone how I'm doing. Ask someone if I'm doing a good job. Another way you could embrace the opportunity within your challenge is trying a new approach, trying something different. If you feel like what you're doing just isn't succeeding, then take the courage and open-mindedness to try something different. Or setting a small goal. If one of your challenges is nutrition, better eating habits, trying to cut junk food down, setting a small goal. Like if a small goal would be to get in your intake of water every day for a week. So that's like 8 ounces of water or something like that a day. Maybe not drinking soda for a certain amount of time. Maybe not eating that midnight snack for a couple days in a row. So this is the opportunity within your challenge. So you're setting small goals, like the example in the beginning of this video, setting aside 10 minutes a day for some kind of physical exercise. Or if you need to learn something new, setting time aside to learn something new. If you need to learn about nutrition, if you need to learn about exercise, if you need to learn a skill that's required of you, then take the time to learn it. Set time aside, 20 minutes a day for 2 days, right? So for me, with my license, the only small action I can take is what I got to do next is to reach out to DMV, which actually did right before I started recording this video, but it's to reach out to the DMV and ask them what the next step is. I couldn't get a hold of them. Instead of calling back the next business day. So that's my next step. So each week when you face a new challenge, use this reframing technique. You can document it in your journal. You can have a little section in your journal that every time reframing comes up, you just write reframing. You write the fixed or limited belief about your challenge, and then you rewrite it into a growth statement into a positive. What are you learning? What are you gaining? The more you repeat this, the faster your brain will be at it, and soon it will become automatic. Soon your mind won't be focused on the negative things that are taking place. It will only be aware of what you could gain, what you're learning, what's going to help you, how you're growing. And that's it. That's reframing. I hope this was useful. It's only truly useful once it's practiced in your everyday life. So once you're practicing identifying a fixed mindset and turning it into a growth mindset, identifying and questioning your limited beliefs in everyday scenarios and everyday challenges. The more you start challenging the stuff that your mind is automatically throwing at you and changing it into something that of your own making, you are slowly shifting from a compulsive reaction of life to a conscious choice, a conscious response. And that's what we want to do in our recovery is we're going from a compulsive reaction to our mind, to our emotions, to our physical health, to the world around us, to a conscious response, dictating what our mind's going to come up with, managing our emotions consciously, and all the aspects of our life. So celebrate yourself throughout this process. It is important. You're taking the time to invest in yourself. You will gain the positive changes in your life, and so will your loved ones. See you on the next video and in the community.